good, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Will. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tuesday, March 17th, 2026 council meeting. And we will start with disclosure of pecuniary interest. Councillor Cook.
Noted.
Thank you. From that, we'll move on to staff report, committee reports. First, Councillor Chalapico.
Nothing for me this week.
Thank you. Councillor Scott.
There was a vet internet meeting last night and I couldn't get on, or I was doing
Yeah.
something wrong, so
Yeah,
I missed it.
okay. Yes, thank you. Councillor Kirky.
Yes, we had a library board meeting last night. We brought on two new board members, Bill Finnis and Will Armstrong. We discussed the grants update, of course, the elevator. Thanked us profusely for doing that, the grant for them. Still waiting for confirmation on the student grants for the 2 summer student grants. So that usually comes late,
Yes,
just close enough to make everybody nervous.
yes.
We may not be getting the seniors grant this year, so. Printer, the lease is coming up on the copier. And it's with Xerox, and it's something that makes money for the post, or for the library. And so with the new supplier, well, it's still Xerox, but they have a new subcontractor that they use. And anyway, so talking with them, they can they're bringing in a new printer, which they generally do near the end of the term. So it's a bigger printer and it's faster, and we will save $337.81 per quarter on copying.
Well, that's good.
So that's, that's substantial for the library. And it's still a Xerox, but it's bigger and faster. Also the potential, this is something that one of the new guys brought up. We have the potential to register with DOR, a vendor of, what's it called? It's the Province of Ontario Vendor of Record Program,
Okay.
where we could purchase our copier supplies through them, and we could probably do that as a.
We do an RFP usually.
Okay, but the province has a vendor of record program that this one guy, I think he works with children, they use that. And
Is that the same as the LAS canoe program? No.
no, it's different.
Oh, so there's 2 different ones.
Yeah, so that we can discuss that further. Anyway, so what this program is, they have vendors of records, and all of the consumables that we use in the library, not just paper, but stuff for the kitchen and stuff for the bathrooms and cleaning supplies and stuff like that. So anyway, so we're going to look into that to see if we can get that. That is something that we might want to look at as well. They have a catalog. Once you've registered with them, they have a catalog of all the supplies. And also, what I found interesting, they also do hotel rooms and stuff, vendor of record. So it might be worth looking into to get better pricing on hotel rooms if we have to travel for it. Also, the fee schedule, we're updating the fee schedule for room use. The activity room or the kitchen will be going from $50 for a full day to $60.35 for half a day. And then the Endeavor room, it'll go to $85 for a full day and $45 for a half day, up from $75. So it's just to try and stay current so that we don't fall too far behind on all that. The Friends of the Library brought in a shelving unit for the Endeavor room, and then they'll be working with Home Hardware to update the kitchen. So, and then I brought this out. I guess I can leave this with you.
Sure.
It's looking for potential volunteers for the new term.
Okay.
Although we do currently have a full complement,
Yeah,
but you never know after council.
well, council appoints a new.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's
I
part of our-
explained that to you last night, but
But thank you.
so I thought you'd want that. And that's all I have.
Thank you,
No.
Councillor Kirky.
Your comments about that.
Oh, and yes, I made a comment last meeting about the food banking calendar getting a couple of skids a week, and it was some bad information that I got a couple of years ago. And I have to retract that statement. They do not get a couple of skids a week or a couple of skids a month, whatever it was that I said. They do not get that from calendar food. So I retract that statement.
Thank you, Councillor Kirky. Councillor Foot.
Nothing from me. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Sorry
you.
about that.
It's all good. It's because I'm not sitting beside you.
I know it is. Yeah, sorry I did that. I just have a quick, the Golden Sunshine Municipal Nonprofit Housing Corporation, meeting today. The Kochi funding for the elevator, all the parts are ordered, paid for. They will be in at the end of May and work will start right away, and it's a 6 to 8 week project. So that elevator is going to be down 6 to 8 weeks, like I had said before, but there'll be people to help others get their groceries, get in and out. So it'll be a good project finish. We talked about next year's work that we're gonna do, and we got a parking lot quote that we're just sitting on. But anyway, the parking lot probably is going to be next there. It's not in great shape. That way we can run all the eave troughs, all the waters underground off the roof and get the water out of there, make it nice and safe. And we signed our new maintenance person today, and he's started out, he's working out really well. He's a tradesman, retired, actually has 2 trades, and he enjoys working there and he can walk to work. So we're fortunate. We've reviewed the transaction reports, everything's good, the income statements, and that's all I have. The next meeting is April 21st, 2026. And quickly, I'd like to give a staff report on the freshet
Yes,
from Lake Nipissing. Please.
yeah, we did a report just to council for the SNF Sturgeon Nipissing French Committee. So Mayor Dave Yam, Tom Piper, and myself attended it. At first, we talked about the summary of the 2025 water conditions, and it's almost kind of getting similar to this year, but we'll see how it goes. But the 2025 spring freshet experienced 2 distinct peak and flow periods. The first occurred in mid-March due to the warm temperatures and rainfall, which initiated early snowmelt. A second larger peak occurred towards the end of April as temperatures increased again and additional precipitation occurred. Overall, the snowpack entering the freshet period was close to average last year. During this time, dam operators managed discharge from Lake Nipissing carefully to balance the inflows while minimizing downstream flooding impacts along the French River system. The discharge levels were progressively increased through April as inflows rose, with peak discharge reaching approximately 380 cubic meters per second. Despite the high flows, operators were able to keep the French River near but generally within the historic flood limits. There are thresholds. Following the freshet last year, summer conditions were relatively stable. Early summer precipitation was slightly above average. However, as it went on into August, we kind of seen the lake levels decline just because of lower rainfall. The fall 2025 conditions saw a significant precipitation deficit with approximately 150 millimeter less rainfall than average between August and mid-October. These dry conditions required careful management of the lake outflows to conserve water storage heading into the winter season. The fall drawdown of Lake Nipissing occurred later than usual as the operators attempted to balance the storage levels while maintaining the downstream flows. For now, current lake operations, Lake Nipissing is currently in its annual winter drawdown, but water levels are gradually being lowered through dam operations along the French until around April 1st, I think they said, around there. And then the dam gates, they start to close and allow the lake to refill during the spring freshet and return to normal seasonal operating levels. At the time of this report, the overall trend indicated lake levels are beginning to rise, with approximately 200-meter cube of water currently passing through a dry pine bay monitoring location. The average water level on Lake Nipissing was measured at 194.67 meters. So that was on March the 9th. I have a newest report today that we are at 194.81. And our normal operating is 195.8, so about a meter down for now. Current conditions in the 2026 spring outlook. So heading into the 2026 spring season, water management planning is focused on several key factors that will influence lake levels and potential flooding risks. They have to look at snowpack accumulations across the watershed, spring rainfall amounts, temperature trends affecting the rate of snow melt and base flows entering the lake system. This point's of interest, like at this time, there remains uncertainty regarding the magnitude of the upcoming spring freshet. Water managers must balance two competing risks. The first one is the potential for spring flooding if the rapid snow melts and heavy rainfall occur, and the possibility of the lake not fully refilling if the dry conditions experienced in the fall continue into the spring. They have done some improvements to water management. They include looking here, an improved inflow forecasting model, additional hydrometric monitoring stations, and automated snow and weather monitor stations, and improved public information through the PSPC French River Dam website. So you get a lot of up-to-the-date minutes. They're pretty good. They're up to date on that website. Conclusion, water levels on Lake Nipissing are closely managed. So this is a conclusion from what we got. It was water levels on Lake Nipissing are closely managed through the SNF Water Management Committee and dam operators along the French River. While last year's conditions included both high spring inflows and very dry late season conditions, the outlook for 2026 remained dependent on snowpack, precipitation, and spring temperatures. The monitor will continue throughout the spring freshet period, and further updates will be provided to council as the conditions evolve. So let's report for that.
Now, after the snowfall 2 days ago, I would think you'll hear this week, because that snowfall ended in Sturgeon Falls, the big heavy
Well,
part.
that's it. And there's gonna be a lot more water coming down.
A lot
when that
more
melts.
water, because it was heavy in Martin River, Red Cedar Lake, that whole area, everything's coming here, so.
So
Yeah,
Yeah, we're lucky Sudbury doesn't come here and goes other places, because they sure got a whack.
Yeah.
But I would think they'll be in touch this week. That's gonna change a few things.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, like a lot of it though, it says like the precipitation really counts, like when it
Yeah.
comes down to it in the
Yeah.
spring. Seems like we always do get it at
Yes,
some point.
and we have 2 more weeks of the dams being open.
Yeah.
Let this run through and we've got mild weather, so. Hopefully, well, we will move on. And I need a mover and a seconder. So, Councillor Kirky. Councillor Chalapico. That the minutes of the regular council meeting held March 3rd, 2026 be adopted as published. All in favor? Carried. And we'll move to item 4, public input on the draft budget.
Yeah, okay, I just have a couple of questions. There's no particular order, just as the pages were presented were.
Yeah.
So, And I don't know who to direct the question to.
Council.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. Can you hear me?
So under administration,
Can I take you to come up to the podium, please?
Just so everybody.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry.
so under administration, I see an increase, under legal fees, that go from 5,400 up to 10,000. Projected budget, so I'm just trying to curious as to why we would project.
Because we have 3 ongoing legal issues right now. Last year, we had also budgeted 10,000, but the actual is what's here.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's all.
And I guess the secondary question to that would be the integrity commissioner, you budgeted $3,000 for that.
We budget 3,000 every year, and whatever isn't used in the current year goes to a reserve.
Okay,
Because one integrity commissioner investigation can range from 15 to 20,000, so it helps us to build.
Okay. Under the fire department, I don't see any wages, so I'm assuming they're part of the general.
All of the wages are in salaries, benefits, and deductions under the general government page.
And then how come they're not broken down by the fire department? Why are we not allocating wages that are?
Because we only have one staff member in the fire department, and that would be an identifiable number. So they're all together.
Would be identifiable anyways, under the sunshine list, probably?
Yeah.
Okay. The stipends paid. Who did they go to?
Firefighters,
Is there a detailed list of that available?
that would be under payroll records.
Okay, that's something that you only get through a freedom of information request? or-
Even that may not be eligible.
Okay,
So the stipends work where council budgets a certain amount per year. And the firefighters who attend trainings and attend calls and all of those things, it's broken down by point system. And they're awarded the point system to divvy up that pot.
now if they're paid to counselor or counselor members, family members, is that something that would become public?
No.
Okay. Next question I had was. Bylaw enforcement.
Yes.
I'm seeing decrease in the anticipated revenue. And also an increase in the budget expense.
We're doing enforcement of the trailer bylaw this year. It starts this year. It's been in education. So that's why there's a training course also for the bylaw enforcement portion of the job. And we're hoping that the bylaw enforcement revenue, which is the parking tickets, we're hoping that the education that we're trying to put out there for the parking in the winter is going to get improved, so we won't have those.
Okay, then a question on the revenue side. Is there revenue being generated, say, from the outfitters for the use of the parking lot? At any parking lot anywhere in the town?
No.
So that's,
No.
the fitness center, I see the revenues are projected to go up as a result of a rate increase.
No.
Well, either.
We're hoping to have more members and more advertising.
Okay. And then I see 70,000 being spent on docks and boat launch.
We're putting that into Chapman's Landing
Is
dock.
that, that's what I was thinking.
That's per the asset management plan.
And then capital projects at the fire department, 81,000.
For the new extrication equipment, that's in our capital forecast as well.
Okay. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Are you happy with the answers?
Well, the answers are what the answers are, right? So
Yeah.
I can't change what I can't say I'm dissatisfied with the answers. We'd like to see more done at the parking lot, at Birchgrove, but the Southern Night gates there would be ultimately, I think, what not just myself, but a number of residents would like to see.
We're planning to remove the gates this year because they were removed for us.
Yeah. So
That was not by us. So we'll be going to other blockade methods.
when you go to the other blockade methods, do you take into account what the people that live on those roads?
Cement barriers wouldn't be that. We have to also look at how we work and function to keep people out of the parking area when it could be damaged as well, so.
All right, I'll accept that as an answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you do. Take care.
We did not receive any other comments in writing or by phone or in person in the office either. So really, there's no presentation of the final budget. Will, can you put up that one slide just so we all recall? It's kind of a summary of the presentation from last week. It just shows the levy increase that we've projected with the rate, with what we've presented and what we've answered on this evening is for 3.4% for the levy, 2.9 for the tax rates. Council is satisfied with the budget as it is. We do have the bylaw, which was also circulated in a public package for council's consideration. They changed, so I didn't want to go through it line by line again.
So I need a mover and a seconder. Oh,
No, I was,
Oh,
move it.
I'm sorry, I had a question.
no, everything was explained to me well enough that I'm
Yeah.
willing to move on it.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Curtin. And Councillor Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That we pass by law number 2026-10, being a bylaw to provide for the adoption of the current estimates and tax rates, and to further provide for penalty and interest in default payment thereof, and for the levy of other charges in 2026. Read this first, second, and third time and passed the 17th day of March 2026. All in favor? Oh, we
And
lost.
Councillor Foots, did you put your hand up?
Yep,
Okay,
Thank you.
there was a picture in front of you for a second there.
And I need mover, seconder. Councillor Foot. Councillor Chalapico. As we pass bylaw number 2026-11, being a bylaw to set tax ratios for municipal purposes for the year 2026. Read this first, second, and third time, passed the 17th day of March 2026. All in favor? Over, seconder. Councillor Chalapico. Councillor Scott. Whereas the Township of Nipissing acknowledges the required need of large animal veterinary services in the north. Now therefore, the Council of the Township of Nipissing supports the Township of Papineau Cameron Resolution number 2026-50, requesting expanded enrollment capacity to programming at the Ontario Veterinary College for those pursuing certification as large animal veterinarians. All in favor?
That's pretty important, actually.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Counselor Scott brought that to the
Yeah.
veterinary committee to our attention.
They'll be very pleased that we were able to support it.
that's good. So that's New Lister, Guelph, everybody, like all the,
Yeah, and there's a program, I don't know if it's in the Sioux, but there's another place that they have.
yeah,
And apparently 3 students from that area applied and couldn't get in because the program was full.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's good. And I watched that actually as a news report one evening on CTV about the veterinary colleges needing to expand.
Yeah, because I think they only take 12 students
A year,
a year.
And
yeah,
why are they doing that? Is that to create,
when you think in the much bigger picture, that's the food we eat. And if we're not having enough vets to look after it, then there's starting to, could be problems. And it's been brought up once before at one of our meetings that it's still little small farmers that are taking a picture, using telehealth, sending it in, and those animals could be going to a large auction. I've never seen a vet or anything. It's
when you're allowing 12 students, you're creating a supply and demand, which only increases the price of everything
That's right.
It
for
comes down-
people, and it's a deterrent for people to take proper care of their
It comes
animals.
down to the space for teaching, like with the cattle and the big animals, having them at a school.
Yeah.
So they're trying to expand that.
Then build the bigger school.
Yeah,
where was the college stand that they're trying to expand?
I think it's Thunder Bay area.
Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
Is it a private school or is it?
No,
No,
No, it's
public,
Yeah, public, it's still part of the Guelph program, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're all tied in together.
Yeah,
yeah. University of Guelph is huge. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
walked in there. I dealt with them when we were in the fur business lots and, yeah, and the horse business. Horses. Anyhow,
No problem.
we will move on. So I need a mover and a seconder. So Councillor Kirky. Councillor Scott. Whereas the Council of the Township of Nipissing fully supports the statements provided in a letter from the OPP Detachment Board, James Bay East, dated February 20th, 2026, regarding victim crisis assistance Ontario agencies across the province and the development of a coordinated provincial bail notification program. Now therefore, we direct this resolution of support to be circulated to Powassan, Nipissing Calendar, OPP Detachment Board, and FNUM for support. All in favor?
this here has a,
You're right.
Yeah, I was just
Northern
gonna read
Ontario.
it when I first saw it.
Just
I thought you were
typing a
standing.
little too fast
Yeah.
there. Sorry about that.
You want you sending it off that way?
Nope, I'll retype it to sign.
Yeah. So I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Foot. Councillor Chilipinko. Sorry.
It's a big one.
Whereas Northern Ontario has limited healthcare resources widespread throughout the north, which require travel, wait times, and residents struggling to obtain healthcare without the services of a family physician. And whereas a critical role in the healthcare is timely, reliable medical testing, which provide crucial information for medications and treatment schedules. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Nipissing supports the City of Greater Sudbury in the request that the province of Ontario and the Ministry of Health take action to ensure that essential medical laboratory services remain accessible within Northern Ontario. And be it further resolved that the province be urged to ensure reliable, timely, and medically appropriate laboratory turnaround times for Northern Ontario patients, recognizing the unique geographic and climate challenges of the region. And be it further resolved that the province be requested to protect and support the valuable Northern Ontario healthcare workforce, including medical laboratories, technologists, by preventing further service centralization and disproportionately impacts Northern Ontario communities. That was a long story. All in favor? Carried.
Centralizing everything.
Yeah.
Another one?
Yeah.
Okay, I will look at that closely, sorry. Thank you.
Correspondence. Request from the municipality of East Ferris for support to construct a new fire hall that will also serve as a regional fire training center. So I'm going to read through these and I'm going to come back to this one. And the second one, request from Bernie Morin to waive landfill tipping fees for Lake Nipissing cleanup materials. So we'll come back to that after I'm done. The Federal Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities, FNOM, calls for urgent action following another fatal collision on northern highways, which we all did at our last meeting. This is the one that they sent. The Golden Sunshine Municipal Nonprofit Housing Corporation Board of Directors meeting minutes held January 20th, 2026. Township of Nipissing Recreation Committee meeting minutes held March 2nd, 2026. Township of Nipissing Museum Board of Management meeting minutes held March 4th, 2026. Wasson and District Food Bank thank you note. I think everybody has a copy. And calendar and District Food Bank thank you note. So we're not going to
Yeah,
we'll do
I
that
don't know
for,
how to do this.
yeah.
Maybe.
So I'll explain anyhow. Yeah, request from East Ferris. We have a resolution to support, and I think we should support.
Is there a
This,
dollar amount? Is there,
that's theirs. We're just supporting. They're applying for this,
oh, we're just
They're
supporting
applying
them?
for a grant.
right?
Yeah.
And we're supporting, and that way, when Will needs people trained, they only have to whip over to East Ferris, which,
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's when
Yes.
the cost
Can
sharing
I
takes
speak
place
to that?
or what's taking place.
In our mutual aid group, East Ferris is still in our mutual aid group, and we, in the past, have done training with them, with Calendar, with Wasson in the area. And if we can get a training center in our mutual aid group,
Oh,
It
I live
is.
with firefighters. I totally agree. I just am concerned for pricing.
Yes.
If that was gonna
so,
cost, but I think that's a fantastic idea to improve.
yeah, there'll be savings down the road for you. In the,
Yes and no.
yeah,
Yes, it's gonna make it more available.
yes,
A regional training center is cost recovery. So we're putting on some courses right now. So of course, we just put on 2 weeks ago, last week and this weekend. It ended up being just around $100 a firefighter for the 3 days. We're putting an Auto X course on in East Ferris. We're looking at about 400 to 450 a firefighter instead of 1,000 to 2,000 if we go somewhere else.
Yeah, big savings
So
eventually.
it's cost recovery,
Yes,
so
And availability.
yes.
And an
availability
And
on
efficient.
weekends,
Yeah.
evenings, we'll be able to do courses and stuff when we want.
So the resolution that they requested in their letter that we support, there's a time frame on that. They need that for their grant funding. And we
Yes.
won't meet that time frame by our next council meeting. So normally we would pull it out and put it on our next agenda and then do the supporting. So this way, we've done up the resolution, so after correspondence is adopted or received, sorry, we can then move to this resolution without amending our agenda because it's coming out of our agenda. So,
Now, do you want me to explain the next one or close first?
no, I think better to explain that
Yeah.
this is the process we're going to take for correspondence tonight, yes.
So we have a request from Bernie Moran to waive landfill tipping fees for lake cleanup, taking out materials on Lake Nipissing. So I'll speak it first, everybody else can come in on this. When you come to our landfill, if you have lumber, lumber's gotta be separate, it's going in a burn pile. If you have garbage, it's going here. Grindables, whatever they decide, they all have to be kept separate. No human waste. We don't accept human waste. So we've talked about getting a landfill card for 1 month with his name only, and it's void in 1 month. That's one thing we talked about. They'd ask for a bin, if we consider having a bin put there, but you're gonna have it full in probably the first 2 days of everything.
Yeah, and they won't be the ones putting it in.
That's right. So I went out on Lake Nipissing for 41 years with my family and neighbors and friends, and we've always done a cleanup. I can remember our fire chief when he was a kid out there, cleaning up with their families. And my neighbors all clean up, and the camps, 99% of the camps clean everything up. James Scott was out and cleaned, I shouldn't name you, but go out and clean up.
I usually go out with Bill and this
That's,
family.
yeah, so
So we
That's
have
where
a
we're-
sample resolution, and once we move that to talk about, then you can open up discussion and read it, maybe.
Yeah.
So if we just accept the correspondence first, then we can move it. to-
yeah, so I need a mover and a seconder. Councilor Chilipinko. Councilor Foot. That we received the correspondence reported as presented. Report as presented. All in favor?
On words.
Mad Mel.
We'll start with this one. and-
Here's. I need a mover and a seconder. Councilor Kirky. Councilor Scott. Story. Whereas the municipality of East Ferris is planning the construction of a new fire hall that will serve as a regional fire training center for fire departments, including from across the Nipissing, East Perry Sound, and East Sudbury districts. And whereas the closest accredited and operational training facilities are currently located in Huntsville, Haileybury, and Sault Ste. Marie, requiring significant travel, increased costs, and reduced training frequency for volunteers and composite departments in our region. And whereas the summer 2025 storm in the municipality of Calvin demonstrated the effectiveness of regional collaboration under the declared state of emergency, highlighting the value of joint training and coordinated emergency response. And whereas a regional training center in East Ferris would allow firefighters to train closer to home, reduce operational costs, foster interdepartmental collaboration, and improve readiness for future emergencies. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Township of Nipissing supports the municipality of East Ferris in its application to the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation for funding assistance to construct the East Ferris Regional Fire Training Center. And further to that, a copy of the resolution be forwarded to the municipality of East Ferris to demonstrate our municipality's support for this important regional initiative. All in favor?
So if we move this on, like, a mover in a second,
Yeah.
and then we can do the
Okay,
discussion.
so, okay, the mover and the seconder. Councillor Foot. Councillor Scott. Yeah.
From the letter first.
So from the letter that we talked about, the floor is open.
I like the idea of the 1 month card. That seems simple enough, then we know who it is who's bringing it in.
If I knew in advance, I would probably take my dump trailer down. If he was gonna say at Birch Grove and do it on this date, if we could schedule it for Friday or Sunday,
Well, that's something.
then I would,
So Mr. Moran did ask for a contact that he could work with the municipality, so I can give him your information if you like.
yeah, if he's to do it on one of those 2 days, I'll take the trailer there and then.
Yeah.
And
But
then
they
I,
have to separate it, it's the thing to cut our landfill. So,
So if I could speak to a few of the concerns that we as
Yeah.
staff have after speaking about this. And it's actually in this resolution a little bit, so,
I can't take it to Ireland, I'm gonna go to the other, so it'd be Thursday or Saturday.
So, one of the things that we included in this draft resolution is that this group reaches out to circular materials because recycling that is generated outside of the township of Nipissing or through an ICI, they call it as commercial or industrial. So even us as a municipality, any recycling generated within our community center or our office can't go into the recycling bins at the landfill. It has to go to landfill. So, or we have to pay someone to come and get it. So technically, anything they're collecting off of lake doesn't qualify for our bins because we don't have jurisdiction over the lake. That is not considered the township of Nipissing. It's the same as the household garbage, but we can certainly overlook that as long as there is no household waste. Now, we had changed to clear bags in 2013, I believe it was, as a measure to combat human waste going into the landfill. And if we allow the group to bring unsorted materials and put it in our shred pile, there's the potential for human waste being placed in the shred pile and then being shredded all over the landfill and putting our staff and our residents and the owners of the equipment that come in at great risk. And this is why we've gone to such great lengths to protect our landfills and our staff from the human waste that was entering the landfill.
so they will have to use clear garbage bags.
Correct. They have to follow our rules because we have to maintain our
Yep.
safety protocols.
Has MNR been out there as the cleanup is starting?
So part of what we put in our resolution, and that's an excellent point, and I did speak to Mr. Moran about it, and he agrees that this is an issue, but so do you want me to read the draft resolution?
Oh, sure.
Like, it's okay. Okay, so this is what we came up with. Whereas council has received a request to waive tipping fees at the Wolf Lake landfill site for items collected by volunteers cleaning the ice surface of Lake Nipissing during the closing of the annual ice fishing season. Now therefore, council of the township of Nipissing waives the landfill tipping fee stated in user fee bylaw number 2024-33 for Bernie Morin with a temporary landfill card dated March 17th to April 17th for the sole purpose of disposal of household garbage and waste items collected during the cleanup of Lake Nipissing in the area of the township of Nipissing. And that the group requests the collection of recycling materials included in the cleanup operation be forwarded to the circular materials as this program is no longer under the management of the township of Nipissing. And further, that a resolution be prepared requesting additional enforcement and action of the Ministry of Natural Resources at the end of the annual ice fishing season to assist with the proper disposal of waste resulting from ice fishing operations and individual ice fishing. And further, that this resolution be circulated to the Honorable Vic Fideli MPP, the City of North Bay, Municipality of Callender, and FNUM for support. So those were the points that we came up with as staff and speaking with Marianne.
And like I say, in the next 2 to 3 weeks over the meltdowns, that lake gets cleaned up really well by the South Shore people and so. I know there's lots of blocks, but those outfitters go get their blocks as it melts down, they pop up. So we're fortunate, like an 8x8 M block is probably what, $4 a foot or more. And people need to go get them, so.
So that's just a draft. So it's up to council discussion. We can move it to the next meeting if you like. We were just looking at the time frame stated in this letter as well. So we were trying to support that timely.
In the interest of expediting that, and I think it's well written and it covers pretty much all the bases. Unless anybody has another issue with it, I don't.
And when we give, if we were to give the landfill card, we would also give the instruction sheet on how to use our landfill and how it would be sorted and the contact information for circular materials to try and make it easier for them.
And he will be coordinating with Councillor Scott.
Absolutely.
So.
And he'll need to know that Waltonian Inn at the far end, that's where our township starts. And we're not taking material from anywhere. So.
Well, Calendar is putting out a bin for the first time ever. They've agreed to do this for a month or two, they said. And then the city of North Bay, I confirmed with them and they leave a bin for their convenience at one of their beaches.
So we're not gonna be cleaning up the West Arm.
We shouldn't be. No, it sounded that it was a very organized group and that they work in sections. And there were some safety concerns about the blocks being left on the lake and things like that. So working with local police and things like that.
So, all in favor? Here. Need a mover? Second. Scott?
Sorry. So Councillor Foote has declared the pecuniary interest for the accounts payable.
Yeah.
And so her camera and her microphone have been muted and we'll bring her back to the table.
That the statement of accounts dated February 28th, March 6th, and March 11th, 2026, totaling $228,406.20 be approved. All in favor? The mover. Oh, we need to get Councillor Foote back.
We're fine here.
I'm back. I'm back.
So we need a mover and a seconder. So Councillor Chalapenko. And Councillor Foote. That we pass bylaw number 2026-12, being a bylaw that confirm the proceedings of council at this meeting held March 17th, 2026. Read this first, second, and third time and passed this 17th day of March. All in favor? I need a mover and a seconder. That the meeting be adjourned at 7:20 p.m. Next regular council meeting to be held April 7th, 2026. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the week.
Have a good night. Thanks for
Thanks.
Lisa and James, before you go.